Hey guys, welcome back. So we got kind of a surprising video today. I had an issue first thing this morning on my way to work, and you can see I'm starting to get the liner tore out, but essentially Jeep died. I had the typical signs of as soon as I started pulling out and trying to leave, that dash was throwing a check engine light, a couple other things, and then out of nowhere, not even like probably a quarter mile from the house, all of a sudden everything started flashing. The dash was having a conniption. So I'm gonna do a quick little video on changing this aux battery out because I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. I had no problem jump starting. I'll talk a little more on at the end of this video exactly what's going on, all the signs that I had, and end result. I'm trying not to change the main battery. We're gonna test out just the aux battery first, but yeah, I'll tell you why I'm going this route towards the end versus some of the stuff I was researching, what other people have done. So let's get down to it. So one of the main things I will talk about, a lot of videos I was watching during my research for how to do this, just to see what all I could find, the different ways to change it. A lot of people don't obviously advise going through the hood because, yeah, you got to take out the fuse box, the main battery. There's too much up there to mess with, especially a lot of the wiring with the fuse box. A lot of people will go through here, but a lot of the videos I did see, everyone pulls off the tire. If you've got the right setup, and maybe even stock, I'm not sure, but for me, having a 2-inch lift and I'm on 35s, I feel like I've got plenty of room to not have to jack this up and, you know, yank everything out. I was able to get all these tabs. I just pried this away from it, no problem. They popped out. There's a couple of the plastic tabs that are on the inside, as well as 1 or 2 of the 10mm bolts or something like that on the inside that I took off just enough to about basically fold half this liner back. And you can see, get in here, this tray is where your auxiliary battery is. So you got 2 bolts on this side, 1 on this side. They're 10mm. You will need an extension for this backside to hit the 1, but other than that, I feel like I've got plenty of arm space to reach in here, be able to pop everything out, drop this tray down, and swap out the battery without having the hassle, like I said, of taking this tire off, trying to get it jacked up and all that. So let's go ahead and press forward. We'll check back once I actually get this tray drop down. All right, guys, so kind of ran into a problem here. When we got the Jeep, bought it used. It was a great deal though, because this was, you know, just shortly after COVID and that big ordeal. Shipping was a horrible issue with Jeep at the time, and dealerships were trying to overcharge for brand new Jeeps. So I found this one that only had 14,000 miles on it, had the lift and the wheels, everything already done. Great price though, because still had warranty and everything. And this was actually about the same price, like MSRP, as a Willys edition Wrangler that had no mods done to it, but dealerships wanted to hike their prices up 5, almost 10 grand in the area we lived in at the time. So yeah, long story short, we got it used, but I think the previous owner went ahead and did the typical, let's delete the auxiliary battery, because I popped that tray down and it's empty. No wires, no nothing. So I'm guessing what he did or had somebody do is delete the auxiliary battery, yank the wires out or whatever. It has the auto start stop. It does work. It doesn't work when temperatures are super high. I think that's just a Jeep setting, like when it's over 90 degrees outside or something like that, or 80, whatever. But either way, this still works. So they had to have wired something up to the main battery for that to still be a function. But yeah, I have no option for auxiliary battery. So essentially what I've narrowed down is the main battery is crapping out for whatever reason. Now I gotta go back to O'Reilly's, return the auxiliary battery that I can't even use since he yanked the wires out, and swap out the main battery. So shorter video. I mean, we'll touch base with the main battery, but for now, at least I can show you, like, this is perfectly doable with a 2-inch lift. left the tire on. I didn't even turn it. If you'd like some extra space, you might be able to crank the wheel so that this backside, crank the wheel all the way where you're turning right, basically, and it'll give you a little more, you know, clearance to get inside there. But there is plenty of space to be able to reach all 3 bolts. I pulled it out, no problem. I don't know why. I mean, other than people just want a little bit ease as far as not feeling as tight of a squeeze getting in. That's why they pull everything off. I'm not sure, but you can leave everything on if you're on a time crunch like I am, because it looks like we got rain moving in here. So that's why I'm not trying to bother pulling everything off. And I mean, some videos, I watched one guy, he ripped the whole entire fender off, breaking all the tabs to get in there. And other people, they only get the inner liner out. I'm able to just fold half of it up and reach in just fine. So hopefully this helps for some of you, not do as much work. But yeah, now I got a new problem on my hands of getting a different battery. So I will touch base here in a little bit after I go back to O'Reilly's and hopefully swap this stuff out. So I'll check in with you guys here in a little bit. All right, guys, so I got everything wrapped up and done. Obviously, you can see it got dark. Made my trip to O'Reilly's. I was able to exchange the auxiliary battery that I bought and just apply that money towards the main battery, the new one I had to buy. And we tried to test the stock battery, and basically the charge was so low that the tester wouldn't even like register or do anything with it. It actually said had to charge the battery in order to test it. I told her I wasn't even gonna worry about it. Let's just go ahead and buy a new battery. A lot of the research I've done, it looks like these stock batteries are just garbage, period. A lot of people I saw were Light Bright, they said they changed their battery out like 3 times in 4 years, something like that. I've seen plenty of other people that have changed them out multiple times within just a few years. So it honestly doesn't surprise me that this one would go out just like the rest of them. A lot of the issues do, when you do your research, you'll see it seems like a lot of it does derive from the auxiliary battery with the whole start stop feature. Once the auxiliary battery dies, then so is the main one. Chances are that could have been what happened with this one. Obviously with the previous owner, something could have happened with that auxiliary battery, and you know, he could have had his battery issues. He probably just deleted the auxiliary battery altogether and then just left the stock one and recharged it. And I mean, it might have done its thing for, you know, the year since I've had it, but it probably already did its damage to the main battery, and at this point probably killed it. So I wasn't gonna waste my time trying to charge this one and then get it tested to make sure that it was a bad battery. Let's just go aftermarket, call it good. Brand new battery, 3-year warranty. O'Reilly said I can take it back if there are any issues, and they'll test this one and see, you know, if it's something with the battery, or if we can narrow down that it's something in the Jeep that's causing it. But it doesn't make sense with the 1.5 years that I've had this Jeep now, and I'm just now starting to get issues. It doesn't make sense why, you know, any of the stuff that's in here would have been draining. It should have happened sooner. So all that said and done, like I said, for anybody that does have auxiliary battery issues, you need to change it. I showed you how to do it. You can pop the inner fender line out. You don't have to pull the whole fender. You don't have to take off your tire or anything. I was able to do it just fine. I was able to put everything back just fine. I didn't even have to turn my wheels. Like I said, that could be different depending on the size tire you're running, the size lift that you got. You might need to turn the tires to help get a little extra like workspace, but overall, it's fairly easy getting the auxiliary battery that way. If you end up deleting it, then cool. Like I said, previous owner, he ripped out all the wires too. When you open the fuse box, there's supposed to be 2 areas, or one area where the auxiliary battery plugs in. There's no wire there, so that's where he's completely removed all that. In that case, replace the main battery. I've heard of other people, they're running a different auxiliary battery system, but they're 2 full-size batteries. A lot of people are running Optimas. With this being such a last-minute issue, and I don't have the time to wait for an Optima battery to ship in, I just went ahead and got one of the platinum batteries from O'Reilly's, called it good. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much does it. Like I said, auxiliary battery, I showed you everything. It all snapped back in. I didn't break anything. All the plastic snaps that I got, all little button snaps, everything was good to go. Everything plugged back in, got my bolts back in. The battery tray, no problem getting back in. Main battery's hooked up now, so everything, I did flip it on, did a quick little test. No check engine lights, no messages that I've seen so far. It was very brief. I just wanted to make sure everything did turn over. Everything appears to have full power. Can't do any further testing as of tonight. It's just too late in the game. We've got stuff going on tomorrow. We got to get my wife's vehicle to the dealership. Whenever we bought it the other day, they didn't have time to detail it or whatever, so they're going to detail it. We're going to finish a couple other things of paperwork. So in that meantime, we're going to test drive this tomorrow while her car's getting detailed and all that. At that point, I can fully see what's going on. Is the battery holding up, or is there another issue? Or make sure that I don't have any other check engine lights or whatever. Other than that, hopefully this issue is resolved. Yeah, I will check back in. I'll check back in if there's any issues. Let's put it that way. If you don't see any other videos posted up about battery issues with me, then everything's good to go. If a video pops up at whatever time it does, I'll let you know what's going on, what routes we're taking, yada yada, all that good stuff. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Otherwise, hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully it helps a lot of people that have to mess with the auxiliary battery, because you don't have to go through all those troubles swapping it out. So yeah, if you guys got any questions, if you like the content, let me know, comment below. Make sure follow all my channels. I just started up a Pinterest as well, if you want to keep up with like pictures of the trips and stuff we go on. So make sure, check it out, JL_Moon Knight. That's gonna be for Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. And then obviously YouTube channel, Moon Knight Adventures. So keep up with me, let me know what you guys think. As always, see you guys later.